Okay, so I wanted to read more of Infinite Jest, and but my dad is driving me crazy to read 5 minutes a day of this Bill Bryson book, A Short History of Nearly Everything. So I'm gonna read some of this goddamn book. To Megan and Chris, welcome. Well, I'm neither of them, so I feel unwelcome. There's acknowledgments. I'm not gonna read those, I don't think. And there's a table of contents. There's 3 parts to this book. It's 150 pages. Is it? What? No, okay. No, there's more than 3 parts to this book. There's 6 parts to this book, and it's like 500 pages. That sounds more like it. Alright, part 1 is Lost in the Cosmos. How to build a universe. Welcome to the solar system. And the Reverend Evans's universe. It's 3. This is 3 chapters of the first part. So I guess we're going to begin with Lost in the Cosmos. There's also an introduction. I guess we'll be reading that first. Physicist Leo Szilard once announced to his friend Hans Bethe that he was thinking of keeping a diary. I don't intend to publish. I am merely going to record the facts for the information of God. Don't you think God knows the facts? Bethe asked. In response to Leo Szilard. Yes, said Szilard. He knows the facts, but he does not know this version of the facts. Hans Christian von Baer, Taming the Atom. He's informing God. Alright, so let's just the most important thing I should do right now is put the music all the way down. This music is interrupting the beautiful sound of my voice. What am I trying to do here? I'm trying to like just go to the settings. How do I go to the settings? Where's the settings? Oh, there it goes. Use that start options button and you go to settings. Audio, right? There we go. Master volume all the way down. There we go. Done. And now, we'll just hit play. We'll just use this guy. It doesn't really matter what he looks like. Alright. Introduction. Welcome and congratulations. I am delighted that you could make it. Getting here wasn't easy. I know. In fact, I suspect it was a little tougher than you realized. Was it? I don't know. I guess so. My dad really drove me crazy, forcing me to check this book out. To begin with, for you to be here now, trillions of drifting atoms had somehow to assemble in an intricate and intriguingly obliging manner to create you. Not true, I guess. That's nice thought. Thank you. I'm definitely gonna lose this one. It's an arrangement so specialized and particular that it has never been tried before and will only exist once. It's exciting. For the next many years, what was it? Next many years, we hope. For the next many years, what? We hope these tiny particles will what are the tiny particles doing? The tiny particles will uncomplainingly engage no! I qualified. I just love getting hit by the hammer. I didn't mean for that to happen. God damn it. That never happens when I'm trying to do it. Okay. So, we'll play one more round then. No problem. That's why I'm not trying, but I wind up winning. Okay. These particles will uncomplainingly engage in all the billions of deft, cooperative efforts necessary to keep you intact and let you experience the supremely agreeable but generally underappreciated state known as existence. Why atoms take this trouble is a bit of a puzzle. Being you is not a gratifying experience at the atomic level. That seems a bit harsh, but okay. For all their devoted attention, your atoms don't actually care about you. Indeed, don't even know that you are there. They don't even know... Okay, indeed, don't even know that you are there. They don't even know that they are there. They are mindless particles, after all, and not even themselves alive. Right. It's a slightly arresting notion that if you were to pick, oops. This is not going so well, but that's good. I'm not really trying. It's a slightly arresting notion that if you were to pick, what was I saying? Alright, if you were to pick, oops, wrong way. If slightly arresting notion, what happened? Oh, I got hit by the thing, didn't I? The slightly arresting notion that if you were to pick, let's get through this, right? Oh, no, I can't. It's a slightly arresting notion that if you were to pick... There we go. Let's just stand here and watch the game. A slightly arresting notion that if you were to pick... What was it? Pick yourself apart with tweezers, one atom at a time, you would produce a mound of fine atomic dust, none of which had ever been alive, but all of which had once been you. Yet somehow, for the period of your existence, they will answer to a single overarching impulse. To keep you. Still, you may rejoice that it happens at all. Generally speaking, in the universe, it doesn't. What did I say? Did I get lost somehow? Oh, wait. So far as we can tell. So generally, so you may rejoice that it happens all. Generally speaking, in the universe, it doesn't, so far as we can tell. This is decidedly odd because the atoms that so liberally and congenially flock together to form living things on Earth are exactly the same atoms that decline to do it elsewhere. Whatever else it may be, at the level of chemistry, life is curiously mundane. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, a little calcium, a dash of sulfur, a light dusting of other ordinary elements, nothing you wouldn't find in any ordinary drugstore, and that's all you need. The only thing special about the atoms that make you is that they make you. That is, of course, the miracle of life. Whether or not atoms make life in other corners of the universe, they make plenty else. Indeed, they make everything else. Without them, there would be no water or air or rocks, no stars and planets, no distant gassy clouds or swirling nebulae, or any of the other things that make the universe so usefully material. Atoms are so numerous and necessary that we easily overlook that they needn't actually exist at all. There is no law that requires the universe to fill itself with small particles of matter or to produce light and gravity and the other physical properties on which our existence hinges. There needn't actually be a universe at all. For the longest time, there wasn't. There were no atoms and no universe for them to float about in. There was nothing at all anywhere. So, thank goodness for atoms. This is kind of like a Bible, right? It's telling us how it all began. But the fact that you have atoms and that they assemble in such a willing manner is only part of what got you here. To be here now, alive in the 21st century and smart enough to know it, you also had to be the beneficiary of an extraordinary string of biological good fortune. Survival on Earth is a surprisingly tricky business. Of the billions and billions of species of living thing that have existed since the dawn of time, most 99.99% are no longer around. Life on Earth, you see, is not only brief, but dismayingly tenuous. It is a curious feature of our existence that we come from a planet that is very good at promoting life, but even better at extinguishing it. The average species on Earth lasts only about 4 million years. So, if you wish to be around for billions of years, you must be as fickle as the atoms that made you. You must be prepared to change everything about yourself. Shape, size, color, species, affiliation, everything. And to do so repeatedly. That's much easier said than done, because the process of change is random. To get the protoplasm primordial atomic globule, as the Gilbert and Sullivan song put it, to sentient, upright, modern human, has required you to mutate new traits over and over in a precisely timely manner for an exceedingly long while. Well, it wasn't really me, was it? So at various periods over the last 3.8 billion years, you have abhorred oxygen and then doted on it, grown fins and limbs and jaunty sails, laid eggs. I guess if this is true, let me finish the sentence. Laid eggs, flicked the air with a forked tongue, been sleek, been furry, lived underground, lived in trees, been as big as a deer, and as small as a mouse, and a million more things. I mean, I guess that's true if like Assassin's Creed is correct, and I'm if I'm all of my ancestors or something. I mean, I guess the process to make me involved all of that. But I wouldn't say that was all me, right? I guess there was some part of me that was alive back then, right? If you think about it, like if I was sperm in my father's testicles, and then I was also some part of my mother that bonded with that. I don't know. Very complicated. Sperm in my father's testicles. Now I'm going to get demonetized for sure. What was I saying? The tiniest deviation from any of these evolutionary shifts, and you might now be licking algae from cave walls, or lolling walrus-like on some stony shore, or disgorging air through a blowhole in the top of your head before diving 60 feet for a mouthful of delicious sandworms. Not only have you been lucky enough to be attached since time immemorial to a favored evolutionary line, but you have also been extremely, make that miraculously fortunate in your personal ancestry. Consider the fact that for 3.8 billion years, a period of time older than the Earth's mountains and rivers and oceans, every one of your forebears on both sides has been attractive enough to find a mate, healthy enough to reproduce, and sufficiently blessed by fate and circumstances to live long enough to do so. Not one of your pertinent ancestors was squashed, devoured, drowned, starved, stranded, stuck fast, untimely wounded, or otherwise deflected from its life's quest of delivering a tiny charge of genetic material to the right partner at the right moment in order to perpetuate the only possible sequence of hereditary combinations that could result, eventually, astoundingly, and all too briefly, in you. Not bad. Anyway, that's all for now, folks. See ya next time.